The wrestling world has given us unforgettable memories, but it has also been marked by heartbreaking losses. Over the decades, many wrestlers left us far too soon, with lives and careers cut short before they even reached the age of 40. Today, we look back at 30 performers whose stories remind us of the highs, the struggles, and the human cost behind the spectacle. Lance Cade, age 29. Lance Cade was best known as one half of the tag team Cade and Murdoch, bringing old-school toughness to WWE's mid-2000s scene. He also gained spotlight as Chris Jericho's partner during Jericho's heel run. Talented, young, and with a promising career ahead, Cade struggled with personal challenges that led to his release. He kept working outside WWE, still showing glimpses of his potential, but in 2010 he died of heart failure at just 29. Fans and colleagues were left stunned at how quickly the business had lost one of its rising stars. Chris Candido, age 33. Chris Candido was a throwback performer with an old-school style and big charisma. Though his career was often overshadowed by his girlfriend Sunny, he carved out his own place in ECW, WCW, and WWE. In 2005, during a TNA match, he suffered a broken leg but seemed on the road to recovery after surgery. Tragically, complications from the operation led to his death just days later. At only 33, Candido's loss was a painful reminder of how fragile even a comeback can be. Test, age 33. Andrew Test Martin burst onto the WWF scene in the late 90s with an imposing frame and a storyline romance with Stephanie McMahon that put him front and center. He thrived during the Attitude Era and the Invasion storyline, but like many of his generation, his career slowed in later years. In 2009, Test passed away from an overdose at only 33. His size, look, and potential made him a standout, and his untimely passing left fans wondering what could have been. Crash Holly, age 32. Michael Lockwood, better known as Crash Holly, brought endless energy and comedy to WWE. Despite being undersized, he proudly declared himself a super heavyweight, and his introduction of the 24/7 rule for the Hardcore Championship gave fans some of the funniest and most chaotic moments of the era. But away from the ring, he battled personal struggles. In 2003, amid personal turmoil, he tragically took his own life at 32, leaving behind memories of a performer who gave everything to entertain. Yokozuna, age 34. Rodney Anoa'i, known to the world as Yokozuna, was a Samoan star presented as a Japanese sumo wrestler who shocked fans by defeating Bret Hart at WrestleMania 9. At over 500 pounds, his size made him an incredible spectacle, and he became both WWF champion and tag team champion. But his weight eventually became a serious health concern, and after leaving WWF, his condition worsened. In 2000, while touring in England, Yokozuna passed away from pulmonary edema at 34, far too soon for a man who had once ruled the wrestling world. Umaga, age 36. Eddie Fatu found his breakout role as Umaga, the Samoan bulldozer, a ferocious character who tore through WWE's roster and even main-evented WrestleMania 23 as Vince McMahon's chosen fighter. Behind the scenes, though, personal struggles followed him. After leaving WWE, his health declined, and in 2009, he tragically passed away at 36. His unique style and intensity left fans remembering him as one of the most believable monsters of the 2000s. Brian Pillman, age 35. Brian Pillman was a true innovator. From his high-flying days in WCW to his groundbreaking loose cannon persona, he was always ahead of the curve. Pillman's unpredictable energy landed him a spot in the Hart Foundation and one of WWF's hottest angles in 1997. But behind the charisma, he had health issues, including a heart condition that went undetected. In October 1997, just before a pay-per-view appearance, he died suddenly at 35. The wrestling world lost a visionary talent who changed the game. Davey Boy Smith, age 39. The British Bulldog was beloved worldwide, especially in the UK, where his SummerSlam 1992 victory over Bret Hart remains iconic. Strong, athletic, and charismatic, Davey Boy shined both in tag teams and as a singles competitor. But years of physical punishment and painkiller use caught up with him. In 2002, just as he was preparing for a comeback, he died of a heart attack at 39. Fans mourned the loss of a hero who embodied power and heart in equal measure. Owen Hart, age 34. Owen Hart's career was full of promise. Known for his technical mastery and mischievous charisma, Owen seemed destined for a long main event run. But in 1999, during a stunt at the Over the Edge pay-per-view, tragedy struck when a harness malfunction led to his death in front of a live audience. At only 34, his passing shook the wrestling world to its core. To this day, Owen Hart is remembered not only for his incredible talent, but also as one of the greatest what-ifs in wrestling history. Eddie Guerrero, age 38. Few wrestlers connected with fans like Eddie Guerrero. With his infectious charisma, incredible skill, and underdog spirit, Eddie overcame personal struggles to reach the top, becoming WWE champion in 2004. Fans loved his lie, cheat, and steal persona. But behind the scenes, years of physical toll and past substance issues left his body weakened. In 2005, Eddie passed away from heart failure at 38, leaving an irreplaceable hole in WWE and in the hearts of fans around the globe. Quick draw, Rick McGraw, age 30. Rick McGraw was a talented worker who spent much of his career as enhancement talent in WWF, but was respected for his energy and ability. He even had a televised match with Roddy Piper that showcased his toughness. Tragically, just after that match aired, McGraw died of heart failure in 1985 at only 30. His sudden passing stunned fans, who initially thought Piper's kayfabe beating had somehow been real. Chris Von Erich, age 21. The youngest of the legendary Von Erich family, Chris was determined to carry the family legacy, but his small size and asthma made wrestling extremely difficult, leading to frustration and depression. With the weight of his brother's tragedies also on his shoulders, Chris sadly took his own life at just 21. His story remains one of the most heartbreaking chapters in wrestling's most cursed family. Gino Hernandez, age 28. Gino Hernandez was one of wrestling's most charismatic heels, known for his cocky demeanor and flair in world-class championship wrestling. His partnership with Chris Adams as the dynamic duo made him a top villain. In 1986, Hernandez was found dead at 28, initially sparking rumors of foul play before being ruled a drug-related death. His sudden loss left fans and peers mourning a man who seemed destined for stardom. Mike Von Erich, age 23. Mike Von Erich's story is another tragedy in the Von Erich family legacy. After nearly dying from toxic shock syndrome following shoulder surgery, Mike was never the same. His health and mental state suffered, and in 1987, at just 23, he took his own life. The Von Erich tragedies remain some of the darkest reminders of the pressures and pain behind wrestling's bright lights. Adrian Adonis, age 34. Adrian Adonis was a versatile performer, winning tag gold with Jesse Ventura and Dick Murdoch before reinventing himself as the flamboyant, adorable Adrian Adonis. His feud with Roddy Piper culminated at WrestleMania 3 in Piper's supposed retirement match. Just a year later, in 1988, Adonis died in a car accident at 34, shocking fans who had followed his colorful career. Buzz Sawyer, age 32. Buzz Sawyer earned a reputation as a wild brawler, best remembered for his legendary steel cage battle with Tommy Rich in 1983. Despite his talent, Sawyer never became a true national star, and his unpredictable lifestyle held him back. In 1992, he died of heart failure at 32, another talent gone too soon. Eddie Gilbert, age 33. Hot stuff. Eddie Gilbert was the son of wrestler Tommy Gilbert and carved out his own impressive legacy as a wrestler, manager, and booker. Known for his creativity and charisma, he became a fixture in Memphis and Mid-South. In 1995, Gilbert died of a heart attack at just 33, leaving fans to wonder what more he could have achieved had he lived longer. Louis Spicolli, age 27. Louis Spicolli worked through ECW before joining WCW as Scott Hall's comedic sidekick in the NWO. His personality and promise were clear, but personal struggles with substances caught up to him. In 1998, he tragically died after mixing alcohol and painkillers, cutting his career short at just 27. Art Barr, age 28. Art Barr's career took him from the Pacific Northwest as Beetlejuice to Mexican wrestling as the villainous Love Machine. Teaming with Eddie Guerrero, he became part of one of Mexico's most hated heel duos, with huge potential ahead. Tragically, Barr was found dead in 1994 at only 28, believed to be from heart-related issues. His death cut short what could have been an international superstar run. The Renegade, age 33. Rick Wilson, better known as the Renegade, was WCW's attempt to replicate the Ultimate Warrior. At first, he was pushed as a powerhouse, but when fans rejected the act, his career spiraled. After being released in 1998, depression overwhelmed him, and he took his own life in 1999 at just 33. His story remains one of WCW's saddest missteps. Bobby Duncombe Jr., age 34. Bobby Duncombe Jr., son of wrestling legend Bobby Duncombe Sr., was a solid performer best remembered as part of WCW's West Texas Rednecks. The faction was comedic, but Duncombe showed promise. In 2000, he passed away at 34 from an accidental overdose of prescription medication. Pitbull number 2, Anthony Durante, age 36. Anthony Durante, one half of the Pitbulls in ECW, was known for his toughness and intensity. The Pitbulls captured tag team gold and brought a rugged energy to ECW's wild style. In 2003, Durante passed away suddenly at 36, remembered by ECW fans for his passion and ferocity. The Wall, age 35. Jerry Tweet, known as The Wall in WCW and later as Malice in TNA, was a towering figure who had stints in Japan as well. In 2003, while touring All Japan Pro Wrestling, he was found unresponsive in his hotel room and pronounced dead of a heart attack at just 35. Johnny Grunge, age 39. Johnny Grunge, one half of Public Enemy with Rocco Rock, was a pioneer of the hardcore tag team style in ECW. Their wild matches helped influence the future of hardcore wrestling. Grunge later worked in WCW, but health struggles followed. In 2006, he passed away at 39 due to complications from sleep apnea. Joey Maggs, age 37. Joey Maggs may not have been a household name, but he was a familiar face on WWF and WCW TV as enhancement talent. His role was to make others look good, and he did it with professionalism and consistency. He died in 2006 at 37, remembered by peers as a reliable hand in the ring. John Kronus, age 38. John Kronus made his mark in ECW as one half of the Eliminators alongside Perry Saturn, later teaming with New Jack and the Gangstas. Known for his aerial moves despite his size, Kronus was a fan favorite. In 2007, he passed away suddenly from heart failure at 38. David Von Erich, age 25. David Von Erich was considered by many the most talented of the Von Erich brothers, with NWA World Champion potential. But in 1984, while touring Japan, he died suddenly at only 25. While officially ruled enteritis, many believe substance use played a role. His death devastated fans and derailed what many thought would be a legendary career. Kerry Von Erich, age 33. Kerry Von Erich did achieve world champion status, winning the NWA World Heavyweight title and later wrestling in WWF as the Texas Tornado, but personal struggles and injuries haunted him. Facing legal troubles and unable to see a way out, Kerry tragically took his own life in 1993 at just 33, another devastating blow to the Von Erich family. Trent Acid, age 30. Trent Acid made his name on the indie scene, especially in combat zone wrestling, where his charisma and talent made him a standout. As one half of the Backseat Boys with Johnny Cashmere, he was beloved by hardcore fans. Sadly, battles with addiction led to his death in 2010 at only 30, cutting short another indie star's rise. Jay Youngblood, age 30. Jay Youngblood was a rising star in Jim Crockett Promotions, teaming with Ricky Steamboat to win multiple tag team titles. Their chemistry was unmatched, and they were a cornerstone of early Starcades. In 1985, Jay tragically passed away at just 30 after suffering a series of heart attacks. His loss was a shock to fans who saw him as a future star. Closing thoughts. These 30 wrestlers remind us that behind the spectacle, the risks of wrestling are very real, and life outside the ring can be just as difficult. Each of these men gave fans joy, drama, and unforgettable memories, yet their lives ended far too soon. Their stories are not only about tragedy, but also about the legacies they left behind, the matches, the characters, and the moments that live on. Wrestling fans will never forget them, even as we wish they had been able to share more years with us.